about sexy escrow. We call it
Escrow. My friends, we're here today with, oh man, these ladies.
Can you believe it? They let us in public
Lindsey
again.
Turner,
Hi.
Danielle, Bouchard.
Yes, Bouchard.
Is your
Or
dad?
as my phone.
My dad is not Phil.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's my
You're not
uncle.
related?
He's my uncle.
Oh, your uncle. Okay.
It's really funny. I have the British accent on my phone, so when it calls her, it says Danielle Bouchard.
Ooh,
Bouchard.
Yeah.
that's sexy.
So that's I prefer Bouchard. Danielle Bouchard.
Oh, you should have a men's accent on there.
Yeah.
I think I had an Australian man talk to me.
I did once, and I got distracted very easily.
I can't understand what he's telling me directions.
At the roundabout, make a left. What?
Huh?
Eh?
Was that Australian?
I don't know. I'm not Australian. I don't know. But I've been to Outback twice.
Oh,
Twice?
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that
Last week.
like automatically makes
Did
you.
you say twice last week?
Yeah, I sure did. Well, have you had a blooming onion?
Yes.
Blooming onion.
Yeah.
Cheese fries.
Well,
Ready.
I wanted to thank you for taking the time today.
It's
I
our
know
pleasure.
you ladies are busy, but and Lindsey, I've known you for a lot of years at one of the brokers I used to work at. I met her.
I was younger and thinner.
Yeah, and that was minus a couple kids.
I had way less kids
Yeah,
back then.
that was minus a couple kids. But and I would follow you anywhere, honestly. Just because, like, well, home or, like,
Okay.
to the bank.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I mean, the different companies. And I think the reason I wanted the ladies on today was to talk about, can you guys hear us? Just make sure, thumbs up, just to make sure that
I can't see that far.
we're all,
She's
good
old.
thing
I'm
I can.
very old.
Yeah. Good,
I can-
just to
I
make
can
sure
see.
that you guys can hear us. But I wanted to have you on today because I know that a lot of time the consumers have questions about what the heck is
The whole
title and
process.
escrow. Like, it's confusing.
It's very confusing.
And why am I paying all these fees? What does it mean?
Right.
And, you know, being that you two are who you are, you know, title and escrow is super sexy now.
Hey.
Hey.
So let's talk about that. So
Okay.
what do you guys do all day? What is your job?
Well, our job is extremely different than the escrow officers who
Yes.
sit behind the desk and work
Completely.
the files every
Thank
single
God
day.
for them,
So
though.
right. Bless
Thank
their
you.
hearts.
Yeah.
So when your clients come to Stewart Title or any title company for that matter, they typically meet with either the escrow officer, an escrow assistant, or a signer. And what they're doing at that point is typically getting to the end of their closing. So what that means is signing their documents, crossing T's, dotting I's, making sure everything's done appropriately. You know, the person that's supposed to be getting the money is getting the money, all those type of things. But way before that, right when they start to work with you, so whether that means they're a buyer or a seller, there's things that go into motion. So for instance, if you're going to be taking a listing, you typically would call us and go, hey Nikki, I'm going to be taking a listing, here's the address, 555 Main Street, let's get that started. So what we do is we pull the preliminary title report. We do that to make sure that there's no liens, no judgments, nothing that is going to cause any problems or cloud the title. And your clients don't have to be privy to all that because you're handling it.
Oh my gosh, I have to just cut in right there because so many times, whether I'm on the buyer or seller side, you see all kinds of shenanigans that need to be cleaned up before you can even move forward.
Well, especially in Las Vegas. I mean, you remember when you started in this business, I mean, there was all kinds of HOA foreclosures and all kinds of crazy things happening, and all those things have caused a different report view, really. So our job is to make sure that everything is cleaned up, squared away, and your buyers or your sellers, whoever they are making sure that they're being either released or given the property completely and wholeheartedly.
So when you say that, clear title, what does that mean for a buyer?
So for a buyer, it's going to mean that no one else can come back and go, that's my house. You're living in my house, get out. So like if Danielle, you know, she just bought a new home not too long ago, and it means that I can't come back and go, that's my house, get out of it. That means that's her house. It means that if there's any problems on, let's say, the deed, maybe they misspelled her name, which we would never do here at Stewart Title, but in the event there was a name, you know, a correction that needed to be made, obviously that would be done. It means that no one else can come take the property from you. It means that we check that property to make sure that it's free and clear, so no one else can say, you know, that's my property, you can't sell it, you can't refinance it, you can't burn it to the ground, all those fun things.
Or a mechanic lien. Somebody's put a lien on it now, Mr. Pool Builder, I owe Mr. Pool Builder $50,000 or however much.
And you'd be surprised how often I find liens that aren't really aren't true to the property.
Yeah.
And it's very fun. So typically we go through our process, as you said, we're clearing it all out to make sure that we're doing everything that we're supposed to do. But we call attorneys and they're like, whoops, wrong place, or wrong pool, or wrong Joe Smith.
Yes, and that's something that happens a lot, is that they'll tack on liens or judgments to a property for a Lindsey Turner that's the wrong Lindsey Turner.
By the way, there
Exactly.
are several Lindsey Turners on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Same spelling.
No.
Yeah, they're like 12, but the point is, they're out there.
So you're not original?
No. Well, I mean, I'm the OG. I was
The
born
gig
first.
is up. She's not original.
She's not.
So there's tons of things that happen in the background, and the good thing is, you as an agent, you typically check your prelims too. I have so many agents that won't check their prelims, and you just want to make sure there's nothing out of order. You want to make sure that who you're meeting with to sell the property, Jane Doe,
Yeah.
it says Jane Doe on there. And if it doesn't, why not? Where is Jane Doe? Where did she go? Who is this person trying to sell her house?
Or do you have a power of attorney for Jane Doe? Like, what are we doing? Were you an
There's so
executor of Jane Doe's estate? What are we talking about?
There's also a lot of real estate agents that don't necessarily know how to read a prelim.
I absolutely agree.
Good point.
And I look at it, but I don't
No,
touch everything.
exactly,
The
everyone-
escrow officer will.
But I feel like a lot of real estate agents are scared not to tell their client, I don't know. So, it's really important to ask your escrow officer. I know you work with Nikki, and Nikki, ask her, and she will explain it to and from. And if everyone, if we don't know the answer to something, we call our title manager. If they don't know, there's always an answer. So it's just don't try to be the tough guy and the smart guy. Ask the questions.
Oh, I lean on you guys big time. Heavy.
Lean on me
When you're not strong.
That was not planned. Bill
That
Withers.
was
Bill
no.
Withers, ladies and gentlemen. Lean on me.
No, I do. I lean on you guys heavy, big time about stuff, but that's really
But you're
important.
supposed to, because
Exactly.
your job is
Having
to
a
help
team.
people buy and sell real estate. Our job is to close out the file and close out the transaction, make sure everyone gets paid appropriately, make sure everyone is released appropriately.
And make sure the property's free and clear.
Thank goodness for you guys. Honestly, it is. You make it seamless.
We enjoy what we do.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Is it's really fun for the people like us to take the escrow from start to finish, but not everybody enjoys that part. So I find that escrow is not for everyone. It's not for anyone and everyone. And the sales team, which is what we are. Our job is a little bit different, like we said in the beginning, than Nikki's. Nikki and Sarah will sit behind their desk and they will be ordering prelims and ordering HOA demands and checking some of these liens and judgments. So their job is very labor intensive.
Yeah.
And when we ask consumers to fill out the statement of information, it's not because we're being nosy.
Yeah.
People are always like, I don't want to fill that out. That's private.
Yeah.
But do you know how many John Smiths there are?
I have a John Smith right now.
Do you really?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
John
and
Smith.
a lot of stuff.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so many different people. Las Vegas is constantly evolving. People are coming and going all the time, especially with our military here. So asking for the statement of information, that's just how we clear things up. But the other things that we do beside ordering all that stuff in the background is, like I said, we compose all those documents. So if you're representing a buyer, we'll be taking the lender's documents if there's a lender and making sure that, number one, their name's spelled correctly. Number two, making sure that they're paying the appropriate amount, whatever that they agreed to pay with their loan officer. Compiling those documents, putting together escrow instructions, which basically is it's basically just kind of following the purchase contract and just making sure that all that was done appropriately. So there's all these things that we're doing in the background, but people don't know who we are, and it's okay. We don't want people to know who we are.
Yeah.
We want
You
them to know
make me
you.
look really
That's
good
our job.
That's
all
all
the
that
time.
matters.
And
Yeah.
the class that we were just in, they talked about your referral business, and the reason that you have such a wonderful referral business is because people like you. You do a great job.
I'm a great singer.
And you're a great singer. Lean on me, or lean on her. But people feel good when they're doing transaction with you, and you have the systems in place, i.e., your lenders, your title reps, your home warranty people. You have the systems in place to make it a smooth transaction for them, so they don't need to know who we are as the title company. It's not in their best interest. Your job is to help people buy and sell real estate. Our job is to close it appropriately and properly.
Facilitate it. Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as you're doing your job and we're doing our job, it's a win-win. But I don't want consumers to really know who we are. Sometimes we do have people that come to us and go, will you close my house in 2005 and I'd love to work with you again. That's great. There's always a one-off. There's always a couple
Or they're
people.
refinancing
Right.
and they remember you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to remember? We're pretty remarkable. But I mean, most consumers don't know who we are.
Yeah.
So we like to make it comfortable and friendly when they're coming here to our office because they work with you. They know you. They have no idea who we are.
Right.
They don't know what they're doing.
Your customer service is always awesome. I've had you come to clients' houses because they've been elderly, and we got to make sure you're safe too. Not
Absolutely.
gonna. She always will say, is this legit? Is
Yeah.
there somebody going to be there? And I always will
Mhm.
usually meet you there anyway, just for.
And I love
comfort.
when agents do that.
Yeah.
Typically, I bring Danielle because
I don't just send you over there blindly,
Mm-hmm.
but
Unless they're beautiful, and then I'll go willingly.
It's important for the agent to go to the signing.
I agree.
I go to all my signings for sure,
It's
sure.
really
Whether it's
helpful.
in the office,
Yeah.
this is still my relationship.
Absolutely.
yeah.
You don't just you know, and that's important. But you guys really over deliver, like for, I know you work for us, right? For the client, but for us, and you really do a good job.
And the good thing about that too is because we are a national company. I mean, we're actually a worldwide company. The great thing is in 15 years, even if you and I aren't here, Stewart Title will still be here.
Yeah.
And if there's someone that comes back and says, well, that's not your house, or you didn't buy this house, or you owe, $50,000, if there's any problems, Stewart Title is always going to make sure that they're there to help the client through. So we're not a fly-by-night company. I mean, we've been around for over 100 and something years. Not me personally. But the good news is if they have a problem, they always have someone to talk to. The reason that I feel that you work with us is because we've proven ourselves to be loyal. We've proven ourselves to be reputable. We've proven ourselves to take care of your clients. Not every title company can say that. The little ones, the new ones, some of those, they really do jeopardize the consumer, and they also jeopardize the realtor.
Yeah.
And I'm not
100%.
saying, I'm not saying that to be rude in any way, but it's facts. It's facts. Like, do you want to go get your oil changed at some little podunk place down the street on Rancho, or do you want to go to the dealership, or do you want to go to a mechanic that you know and have experiences with?
Yeah.
So the good thing about Stewart Title is we're going to be here. If they ever have a claim, if they ever have a problem, there's always going to be someone for them to go to. And I brought this in just so we can show it. It just kind of gives people an overview of what is title insurance, because it's not fun. People don't know who we are.
Like, so let's talk about that. Like, what is title insurance? What does it mean to a seller? What does it mean to a buyer? You kind of covered a little bit of it, but what exactly what is title insurance?
So I can give you an exact verbatim if you like, with this wonderful brochure right here.
They should put your picture on the front.
I don't know why they don't. I mean, it does look a little bit like me.
The guy with the beard?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
And that's Danielle.
She shaved for today.
Yeah, and you guys are welcome. But basically, I'll read this fun little excerpt for you, and it's just a quick overview. It says, a home is usually your largest single investment. For me, it is. I only have one.
True.
It is absolutely my largest investment, involving many forms of insurance to protect against the unforeseen, which is what all insurance does, right? Homeowners insurance protects against fire, theft, and wind damage. Well, here in Nevada, we have some other things too. Flood insurance protects against rising water, and title insurance protects against hidden title hazards that may threaten your financial investment or your home. So people think all the time that homeowners insurance is the same as title insurance. They're very, very different.
Yeah.
But title insurance is one of those things that you don't realize you need unless you need it.
Yeah.
And if you need it, you're going to be grateful you have it. And you're going to be grateful that your agent put you with a title company, whether it's us or another big player. You're going to be grateful that they put you with someone who is going to be in business and be there to handle whatever your claim may be in the future.
So if a owner is refinancing a home, they don't always use a title company. Do they always get title insurance?
So that's a weird yes and no question. There's some lenders that do these like super fancy streamlined is what they call them, and it's like, we're not going to go through title, we're just going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And yes, I've seen those happen. I've even participated in one as a consumer back in the day. I don't know how many lenders do that right now, but I've seen that happen. Some of the other vendors offer a fast policy or whatever, so that way it's just a quick little whoop, type throw-in policy. But other people require a full-blown policy all over again. So that's when they talk about closing costs, lenders policies, title insurance policies, those are typically the things that they're referencing.
The closing costs. So when a lender will say, "Oh, no closing costs," they're probably wrapping that into the loan.
Of course, because nobody does escrow or title for free.
Yeah.
Nobody does real estate for free.
Nobody works anywhere for free.
No.
Yeah.
No,
That's
not
called
anymore.
volunteering.
Yes, which is a very healthy, fun
It's
project.
awesome. I volunteer a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
We've done some great volunteer work together, and I enjoy doing that. But yeah, here this is how I pay for my children, and they're
all of those,
all of
kids,
them,
all of them,
very
there's a
expensive.
lot.
So, but title insurance is extremely important, and if you don't have it, you don't know what could happen. So I always relate it back to when my house flooded again 8 weeks ago on Friday. My homeowner's insurance guy, he was right there. Thank gosh he was there, because if he wasn't there, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to call. So having a resource, having that person, having that, that person to lean on is imperative. And this we're not talking about, the $20,000 in damage from my flood. We're talking about $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, in some cases millions of dollars for people's homes that's covered by your title insurance. So it's extremely important to have. And yes, you can, in some situations you can not have it. In some situations you can do your own deeds and report around things, but I mean, truly, it's not what's
Don't do
what's in
that.
your best
Don't
interest.
do
Yeah.
that.
So, and
Anybody can report anything for $42.
I know.
There's a
Crazy.
reason we have jobs.
Yeah.
You know?
Title insurance is important, and I want to bring up something that we deal with all the time is quit deeds.
Am I allowed to be honest?
Quit deeds, because so many times there's a divorce and the wife gets the home and the divorce, and they just quit deed husband off the title, but he's still on the loan. It's just a mess, or it's been moved because of all kinds of reasons.
There's family issues.
Let's
there's marital
talk
problems.
about that.
There's 401k issues. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen it all in my career, and I'll tell you this: I'm okay with someone doing an occasional deed, but you have to remember that that's still an uninsured deed. So anytime you're doing something that's outside escrow, so like it's just me going to the recorder's office, which people do. I've done it. You can report your homestead there. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Do that. That's great. And we should do another segment on homesteads.
Yeah.
Because again, that's something people don't
It's
know
important.
about. But if you're going to be adding your mom to title or taking your husband off title and you're not doing it through escrow, you can do that, yes. But when you go to refinance it, sell it, whatever you might do, they're going to want an uninsured deed affidavit. So what that means is now we have to go back to the person that signed off and be like, did you really sign this?
And hopefully they're
Hopefully
alive.
they're alive. Hopefully
We
they're
can find them.
out of prison.
Yeah.
Hopefully
They'll cooperate.
they will cooperate. Sometimes people use this as an opportunity to go, well, you know,
had an affair, and
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing.
now that you mentioned it, I'll sign it for $10,000, and then it becomes an entire situation.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't know how people are going to change. Everybody's in love until they're not, and every relationship changes. I've seen too many cases where people have done their own grant bargain sale deeds, also the quit claim deed that she's talking about. But the grant bargain sale deed, where then all of a sudden they're divorced, they're dead. I mean, there's so many things can happen. People get deployed. You never know. So if we're not attorneys and we're not here to give you any legal
No.
advice, but if you know that there's something coming up, you might want to talk to an attorney. You might want to talk to your escrow officer. The thing that I find funny, and all the attorneys are going to hate me for saying this, but literally an attorney will charge you hundreds of dollars to do a grant bargain sale deed. Yes, you can do it for free. Yes, you can do it through an escrow company as well, which will still cost you money, but it's going to save you money in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. So consult a professional is the point. If it's an attorney, your title and escrow company, it's just, and my grandma passing, like elderly, there needs to be things done in a proper way with trust. There's just a whole, there's reason that you guys we have your business,
Right.
there's a reason for it. And I just see it all the time. So what else do you guys run into a lot? Like, what do you find that's important for the consumer? Because the purpose in these videos obviously is to educate the consumer.
I'm really glad you asked that. Can I be candid?
Yes.
So other than the uninsured deeds, which is my biggest pet peeve,
Yeah.
one of my biggest pet peeves, the other thing that I get really frustrated with is, as a consumer myself, anytime I've purchased, sold, refinanced, whatever, I get all these things in the mail. That's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, put in blinds, put in pool, do your homestead with us. It's $832,
Yeah.
but we're the cheapest in town.
And consumers get confused.
They do.
On what's real and
All
what's
what's
not.
real.
because it looks official.
It does.
Well, and they send you like, oh, you owe more money. You owe this.
Right.
The sewer line in front of your house. Pay for this.
This one.
Uh,
Can we talk about that?
no. There's just all kinds of things, and like your HOAs.
Mm-hmm.
I know where I live, I have 2 HOAs, and a lot of it wasn't explained to me when I bought my house when that one's due, and so,
There's so much
it's
you don't
confusing.
know.
Yeah.
And I think
It
the
is
most
confusing.
important thing that anybody can do is keep in touch with their real estate partners or professionals.
Team, yeah.
Because I can tell you, when I bought my first house, my buyer's agent, awful. I remembered my listing. I remember the listing agent on the house I bought because she was kind and helpful, and my buyer's agent was like, "Oh, you're an escrow? Don't call me, I'll call you."
Yeah.
So when I went to list that house, inevitably I picked the listing agent who I bought the house from. But it's important to keep in touch with these people because I want to know, hey, is this a real homestead form or is this a real homestead form? And then you can go, hey, Lindsey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones have 2. Which one should they use? And I can go, actually, those are both going to cost you darn near double when you can record it yourself at the recorder's office for $40, and here's a printout and I'll send it to you in PDF. So, I mean, there's things that we can do. We're not acting in the capacity of an attorney, but there's things that we can do that are similar to services that you can receive in an attorney's office, but you can do it yourself and not spend as much money.
Yeah.
And then just keeping in touch with your agents and keeping in touch with your clients is super important. The homestead things, I get a lot of questions about that. I get a lot of questions about trusts and stuff like that. That's something everyone wants to know about. Not everybody understands about probate. Not everybody understands about trust, and just because I have a will. I have a will. I'm all set. No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're really not.
You're really not.
Yeah. Or in the divorce this happened, and it's like when we actually look at the divorce decree, and it's like, no, that's not what it says.
So glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Can I go off on one more tangent? You asked what things we hear a lot.
Please.
Divorces. People don't want to let us see their divorce decrees. Now, keep in mind, when we get a divorce decree in here, it's not coming to me. It's not going to Danielle. It's not going to you. It's going to our title manager. She literally looks at it and goes, dun, 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 dun. Yes, that person can sell this house. Or, no, you can't sell that house. Or, yes, you can sell it, but so-and-so gets $4.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation is, however it's lined out in the divorce decree. We're not looking at it because we're nosy.
Is that sales manager an attorney?
No, she's our title manager.
Title manager, okay.
And she will look at it and go, she has authorization from
saying this is official.
This is official. This is okay. Same thing with death certificates, and I'll talk on that in just one quick second. But people think that we want to be nosy. Nobody cares what you got in your divorce.
Yeah,
no offense.
literally.
We've read some amazing ones. We've got some not so great ones. We've done celebrity divorces. We've done normal people divorces. Nobody's that interested, to be honest. And I hate to sound so crass, but it's true.
Yeah.
Nobody's that interested. We're busy. We just want to make sure you're allowed to sell the house. And if you sell the house, that you're giving Steve his $17 that he's due. That's all we care about. So again,
we need it to do our job.
We have
morally,
to have
ethically.
Yeah, they do that with trust too, and with
death certificates.
death certificates, yeah.
The
Or
other
LLCs. They're like, well, I don't want you to see what's going on.
We've had a lot of death certificates lately where people don't want to surrender their death certificate, and occasionally there can be a situation where maybe there's something off and the person's leaving to Nebraska in 12 minutes, and so I can physically touch it, see it, I can tell that it's raised, it's certified copy, and I can tell my title manager, hey Terry, I touched it, I saw it, I felt it, it's real. Can we let this one, can I take a picture with my phone, and then, we can let this person go on their way to Nebraska.
Yeah.
So there's always an exception to be made for extenuating circumstances, but for the most part, again, we're not that interested. We just need to look at it to make sure that so-and-so has passed. That way we know that, you're really the authorized person to sell this house or whatever the situation might be. And we always return them to people. People also think that when they give us a divorce decree, death certificate, that we keep it.
Yeah. We don't want it.
Yeah, we don't
want it.
We don't have a wall of decorations in our house with a bunch of death certificates.
Well, and on that, being that you tell your title manager that you touched it, that this was real, the thing that I love as an agent, because we have an established relationship, most times when I say, Lindsey, this is what's happening, or Nikki, this is what's happening, you trust that I'm telling you the truth.
I have no reason not to trust what you've told.
Right. So, and that's I think important. If you're a new agent, have a create those established relationships with your team, with your lender, your title, your all of your service people,
and make sure that when you're working with a realtor, that they're not invested in that title company for whatever reason that might be.
I make no money if you use Stewart Title
there
or
are
not.
a lot of situations, especially here in Las Vegas and any large marketplace, where the agent might be receiving something incentivized for using a particular title company. It doesn't benefit you. It's certainly not legal. It's definitely not ethical, and it doesn't benefit really anyone except whoever is making the money. So you want to make sure as a consumer that you are working with people that are also working in a legal manner, ethical manner, moral manner.
And that have your best interests.
Absolutely.
That's against our licensing laws, isn't it? But it has.
Does that
Vegas.
stop people?
Yeah, I anybody that I have on my videos, I don't get paid from anybody. I just know that my people get good taken care of. Whether it's a home inspector or the dog washer, like whatever,
Everything you do, we're a reflection of your business and vice versa. Right. So it's important that we represent you well, we treat you well, and again, going back to how we started this video, is you're getting referral business. Because if your business is growing and successful, then our business is growing.
Then we all look sexy.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what makes Escrow sexy. Escrow. Hashtag Escrow.
That's right. So anything else you guys want to add?
If anyone wants any of these, I can send you with some. I mean,
PDF.
Use a realtor. That's like
use a realtor.
Like,
one. Thank you for bringing that
up. It's like I get it. You want to save a buck. Use a realtor. Yeah. There's a reason they exist.
In the long run, it's going to save you more money.
And can I
make
hit
you
on
more
one
money.
more thing real quick? We brought it up in the class. The iBuyers, we can sell your home without letting anyone come in it.
There's a cost.
There's a cost to
It's
that.
very
people.
hefty
It
cost.
sounds
Don't do it.
great on the radio. It's like, oh well, they got me top dollar.
And I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and I got to pick my closing date, and they even packed my china. It was lovely. Come on,
No.
come
Yeah,
on, consumers.
It's too good to be true. Sorry.
If
Yeah.
if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Use a licensed realtor.
Yeah, I've had a couple of clients give me their iBuyer offers. I'd love to see it because I want to
Absolutely.
tell them if that's
Apples
a
to
better
apples.
offer.
Let's go with
Take
it.
Right.
They are usually more than double in fees, and they call it something different.
Oh, yeah.
They call it like convenience. They call it something.
Convenience
It's not a commission.
Right.
It's a something else fee, but it's very
You
interesting.
can call anything anything.
Yeah.
For crying out
Yeah.
loud.
Peanut butter and jelly. It's
yeah.
still double.
Doesn't make it
or
real.
times 3.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite sayings: you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still just a pig in
That's
lipstick.
right.
Is that a saying?
Yeah.
Or did you make it up?
No, I didn't. I'm not that smart.
All right.
Ladies,
Never heard
thank
that.
you. I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
And if anyone wants any of these, you can get them from Kristen.
Yep.
They're
We'll get them
just
to
a
you.
little
That's
trifold.
good information, though.
It's great.
About home insurance
It's
and the
one
difference.
page. It's quick. It's easy. It'll put you right to bed if you can't sleep well.
Do you have a PDF?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can
All
get
right.
that for you.
We'll get it. All right, friends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Awesome.
Happy Tuesday.
Bye, friends.
Is it Tuesday? It is.
I feel like it's a Tuesday.